Today, we're going to read an excerpt from The Hunger Games. Hunger Games, Book 1, Excerpt. There must have been some mistake. This can't be happening. Prim was one slip of paper in thousands. Her chances of being chosen were so remote that I'd not even bothered to worry about her. Hadn't I done everything? Taken the tessera, refused to let her do the same. One slip in thousands. The odds had been entirely in her favor, but it hadn't mattered. There must have been some mistake or error, but you can see this is underlined and I rewrote it. I refuse to believe this, or we can say, there's no way this is happening. And the next sentence is really the same. This can't be happening, taking place, or transpiring. Prim was one slip, your synonyms are piece or sheet, of paper in thousands. Her chances, so I have 3 synonyms for this word, but 2 of them I put a star on because I'm going to talk about them. So chances, you can say odds, probability, or likelihood. If you use probability or likelihood, these are nouns without S, so you would have to say her probability of being chosen was so remote. And you would do the same with likelihood, okay? Of being chosen, if you are chosen, you are picked or selected. The antonyms are spared or passed over. That means she was not picked, like most of the people. They only picked 2 kids, if you know the story. We're so remote. Okay, so remote here, you can say low, slim, or small. It was very small, her chances to be picked. The opposites are high, likely, or probable. That I'd not even bothered to worry. Okay, so these words here, bothered to worry, we're going to reword. Wasted my time worrying about her. Okay? Hadn't I done everything? Hadn't I gotten everything ready? Hadn't I tried my best? Hadn't I taken every precaution? So she tried to prepare everything so her sister would not be chosen. Taken the tessera. So in pink, I wrote the meaning here. A tessera is like a food exchange. In these books, you can have a tessera, and then they put your name in the drawing more times. So your chances to be picked go up. They are higher if you take tessera. But if you take tessera, you get more food. So that's what Katniss did. You see Katniss in the picture here, right? So she did this tessera to try to help her family, but it didn't matter. Her sister was still picked. Taken the tessera, refused. So refused, you can say declined or repudiated. The antonym is agreed, because agree means you say yes to something. To let her do the same. One slip. Now slip is in green because up here we already had slip, okay? So if I put a word in green, look back for it. You will find it, okay? Slip, piece, or sheet. One slip in thousands. The odds, here we are again, odds. If you come back to odds, chances, you will see the synonyms. The odds had been entirely, completely, or totally in her favor. She should have been safe. That's the other way we can reword this. Or the chances were supposed to be on her side. But, however, it hadn't mattered. It hadn't changed anything. It hadn't made a difference. Somewhere far away, I can hear the crowd murmuring unhappily, as they always do when a 12-year-old gets chosen, because no one thinks this is fair. And then I see her, the blood drained from her face, hands clenched in fists at her sides, walking with stiff, small steps up towards the stage, passing me, and I see the back of her blouse has become untucked and hangs out over her skirt. It's this detail, the untucked blouse, forming a duck's tail, that brings me back to myself. Somewhere far away, somewhere in the distance, I can hear or notice the crowd, the audience, the people, murmuring. So if you're murmuring, you are talking quietly or whispering. The antonyms are cheering or rejoicing. You cheer and rejoice when you're happy or when you are celebrating. Unhappily, so we can say in an upset manner, that's like one big adverb. The antonym of unhappily is calmly. As or like, they always do when a 12-year-old gets or is chosen. So chosen we had up here, right? Chosen, picked, or selected. Because no one thinks, believes, feels this is fair or just. They don't think this is fair for the kids. And then I see or spot her, the blood drained from her face. Okay, I reworded this. Her complexion faded. Or we can say she turned pale. Or her face lost all color. Her face is white now because she can't believe she has to compete in the Hunger Games and possibly die. Hands clenched in or balled into. If you ball your hand into a fist, this is a fist, because she's not sure how to react. Hands clenched in fists at her sides. Walking, shuffling, or moving with stiff. So stiff means you're walking with rigid. Antonym smooth. Small steps. Up towards the stage or platform. Passing me. So passing, walking by, walking past me. And I see the back of her blouse or shirt has become untucked. If it's untucked, it's loose. The antonym is tucked in or secure, and hangs out, dangles, or sticks out over her skirt, over her dress. It's this detail, this aspect, this feature, the untucked blouse, forming, making, or looking like a duck's tail. It's a cool way to describe it. That brings me back to myself, or that snaps me out of it, or that pulls me back to reality. So Katniss here is almost daydreaming when she sees her sister. But then when she sees the duck's tail of her shirt, she's like, oh my God, my sister could die. Prim. The strangled cry comes out of my throat, and my muscles begin to move again. Prim. I don't need to shove through the crowd. The other kids make way immediately, allowing me a straight path to the stage. I reach her just as she is about to mount the steps. With one sweep of my arm, I push her behind me. I volunteer, I gasp. I volunteer as tribute. Prim. The strangled cry. So strangled here, guttural or choked. Cry, yell, gasp, scream, shout, or holler. Okay? Comes out of my throat. So your throat is inside. The outside part is called the neck. I just put this in pink because I want to give you a chance to build your vocabulary. This is my neck, but if I cut it and you could see inside, you can see my throat, okay? And my muscles begin or start to move. They start to activate or work again. One more time, once more. Prim. I don't need to or have to shove or push through the crowd. Remember, the audience. The other kids, the other children, so the antonyms for kids are adults or grown-ups. Make way. They make way. They move out of the way. They step aside or they clear a path. Immediately, instantly, right away. Allowing me, giving me, or letting me have a straight, direct. The opposite is obstructed. Like all the people in the crowd moved and she could easily walk out to her sister. Path or route to the stage. I reach or get to her just as she is about to mount, climb, or walk up the steps, the stairs. With one sweep or movement of my arm, I push, shove, see they used it earlier, her behind me. I volunteer. Let me replace her. I put myself forward, or we can say I offer myself. I gasp. So gasp, we had up here, cry. I volunteer as tribute. So in Hunger Games, each district has a tribute. It's a representative, contestant, or nominee, and they all try to win the game.